Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bob Walden and this is the Genesis Models show, 25th of December 2015. Now this has been released specially for Christmas Day, so hopefully you're going to enjoy later on when we have an absolute load of giveaways which are just over the side here. So stay tuned for that. This week haven't done much in the sense of modelling. I have finished our F15, so the final episode of that has gone up with all the final reveal photos and everything, final conclusion to it all. So that's all done and dusted and out the way, which is rather cool, and I've rather enjoyed finishing that one off because as I say, I want to sort of make things a lot more fast paced going into 2016 with that F15 out the way. We've got a Hurricane and Spitfire, we're just going to hopefully just blast away at them. And I know a lot of you have also been going on about the HMS Victory. As I say, I want to sort of like stick to one build at a time. So HMS Victory, I'm sort of going to kind of try and sneak in there and maybe sort of like, once a month sort of do an episode with it. However, it's a little bit tricky at the moment with the HMS Victory because really once I've shown you how to do planking, right? And once I've shown you how to do planking, the steps that the HMS Victory is going through right now is just lots of planking, and it really is a very time-consuming process. So really, there's not much I can sort of teach on camera other than doing planking, which I've already done, and I think I've shown you a couple of different versions with that. So the HMS Victory, it is in a bit of a sort of a very sort let's just face it, it's just lots of planking, and I just need to spend a load of time, probably like a week or so, just purely just planking this thing, because there's not really much to film. But looking through a lot of the other issues, I mean, it really does start to pick up once the planking's done, because you've got all sorts of stuff after that, with all the rigging and stairs and all sorts of windows, and there's just absolute loads of stuff after that. So it will pick up after a while. So just to answer that question, it's in a bit of a stale sort of place at the moment. I just need to actually put the work into that. But while I'm sort of working through that, as I say, we've got the Spitfire, the Hurricane, that's in rapid video build style. So I'm hoping I'll get that finished by January, so we're starting the next build. Also, with a new year coming in, I'm kind of thinking like the 1st January episode we'll go into like talking about a bit more about what's coming 2016, as well as we've got all the sorts of we're going to be announcing the group build, which was the carrier-based aircraft. So we've got that to announce, the winners for that, as well as what's going to be the new group build here at Genesis Models. So the first episode in January for the show, that's going to contain quite a bit of information, so you might want to look out for that. Now what I've also done this week is I've done part 2 of our Chaos Cruiser, which is just sort of finishing up. It's a nice little just a couple of minutes of finishing up that Chaos Cruiser, as well as getting the base sorted, doing stars as well, which is rather cool. So let's just move along and let's crack on with our Chaos Cruisers. Right, we're now coming to the next part of our Chaos Cruiser here. Now what I want to do is to start doing some base painting now. There is a product review on the Genesis Models website of our Winsor & Newton Series 7 paintbrushes. When it comes to paintbrushes, really, Series 7 Winsor & Newton is undoubtedly what everyone says, and is like the best paintbrushes you can go out there and get. Now they are a bit expensive, but if you do shop around you can get them cheaper. So it is definitely a well recommended brand if you can get your hands on them, and that's what I'm going to be using for this. Now what I want to do, I want to sort of like get some base colours down. Now this is just simple sort of painting, but getting some of our Abaddon Black by Citadel, what we want to do is paint up things like our guns, right? Now this is like a base colour, right? Well, this is not going to be the colour that our guns are going to end up being, but it's a perfect base for any kind of metal type finish, right? So we just completely paint these all up just like so, and we go around and do them all, and there is a lot to do if you want to do them all. Me personally, I'm doing the big guns, basing them black, but then all these tiny little ones I've just come along and painted iron breaker on top, and that's just me being a bit on the lazy side. Now also there is, if you want to do, you want to put a pattern on it, make things look a little bit more interesting. There is this Retributor armor, which is also, we're going to use this as a base. This isn't going to be like the final color, but give them a shake. And what we want to do is we want to paint sort of like some of the raised areas, just to sort of give us a bit of a cool pattern to this. So using our Series 7 paintbrush, which by the way is a nice 00, what we're going to do is we're just going to paint these raised bits, right? Now with your paintbrush, it's stuff like this, to make it neater and easier for yourself, we can use the side of the paintbrush. So we're not going to use the absolute tip of the paintbrush and just try and, you know, paint it like so, because that just makes it so much harder for yourself. But if we sort of get the side of the paintbrush and come in at that angle of about 90 degrees, we can so easily, with the side of the paintbrush, paint this without any real sort of effort at all. Right, so that's a good technique when doing some normal brush work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off and, you know, paint up all this base work, and then we'll just do some final little bits to bring this to an end. So just coming in with our iron breaker by Citadel, and this is just to do our main guns with. As you can see, I've based that with our black, and what that's going to do is just going to allow us to have a nice base to that colour. Hopefully, as you just see in there, and you don't have to like completely and utterly 100% paint it. Maybe leave any sort of recesses still black, just to maybe add a bit of extra flavour to it. Right, and you don't have to sort of get a nice 100% sort of coverage on this, because just having a bit of that black sort of maybe seeping through doesn't hurt, because it just adds again that flavour to it all. Let's just do the ends of the guns as well and just finish this off. Next up is as well, I like to use for my yellow here, we've got this Everland Sunset by Citadel again. I like this colour because it's not full on in your face like really yellow. It's sort of like a bit of a dark, dirty, but still quite yellow looking colour. Now for this, what we're going to do is we're going to add like some windows. So just getting a bit on the end of our paintbrush, not too much. What we can do is just sort of target the odd little area here and there and start, actually that's probably a bit too much on my paintbrush, and we just get some little dots, right, and we just start adding in a couple of windows, and we just do this sort of randomly all over the model, very carefully, and it just adds the extra sort of layer to it all, just like I've done this side. Hopefully you can see we've got all these little sort of windows going on. You know, it just adds that nice little bit of an extra thing. Now, coming back to our Retributor armor, what we're going to do now is, as you can see at this moment in stage, that Retributor armor is coming out at you quite considerably. It's quite bright, quite in your face. You could leave it like that if you want to, but a nice like easy way to sort of get this sorted is we can use some Agrax Earthshade by Citadel, and what we simply do, right, is we can simply come along with this and just paint it on top. Right, being careful just to, you know, try and get it just where our gold is. Right, and that's what that's going to do, is sort of make our gold here look a little bit dirtier, not make it too shiny and in your face, and knock that back a bit nicely. So just let that dry. Now you could go off and you could highlight that now and everything, but you got to sort of think about scale here. I mean, this is supposed to represent a massive ship, so the scale of what this is probably something stupid like 1 in 1,000 or something like that. You know, it is really scaled down compared to, say, a Necron miniature that's about the same size. You know, so you don't really want to be going off and doing loads of highlights and all this kind of stuff, because it is scaled down. You know, these kind of miniature painting is quite easy to do because you don't have to go into it so much, as I say, because it's scaled down so much. And then, so I'm going to go off now and just finish this up, and we'll look at the base now. Right, so that is the actual miniature side of things all done there. Now what I want to do is sort of give our base a little bit of life other than being sprayed plain simple black. So let's start off by, let's neaten things off. Let's get a little bit of masking tape, and what I like to do is just mask up the bottom of our sprue here, just to sort of, you know, kind of just represent that this is just the stand to keep it all nice and black. Right, so with that on, that's all masked up, protecting that. What we're going to do is we're going to come along, we're going to be using Citadel's White Scar. We're going to open this up, right, and then we're going to come off and get a toothbrush. Right, nice simple old toothbrush, don't use a new one and upset the wife. Right, and what we're going to do, we're going to very lightly just dip that right into our paintbrush a little bit, maybe sort of work that in. And what we're going to do, right, we're going to get our thumb and we're just going to very slowly flick this onto the base itself. Just trying to do it and get you on camera. There we go. And you know, we don't want to go too over the top, we just want to get a nice little bit. Hold on, my hands are all white now. And hopefully what you're seeing there now is we've got some stars starting to be represented on the base. Now that's still looking a little bit too plain, so we want to sort of liven that up a little bit more. So what I've got in my airbrush now is I've got Vallejo 001 white, and I've, you know, thinned that down to about 50-50. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of find maybe a little sort of cluster of stars, so to speak, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull down for air and pull back for paint until we get that biting point where we start to see just a bit of that paint coming out, right? and you know, you don't want to go over the top. You just want to sort of like just have a little tiny blast in a certain area, maybe turn this around and then find another little area. Slowly get that biting point coming out. There we go. And also to sort of get it a bit more sort of speckly and not sort of like a very feathered nice spray pattern, I do have my air pressure down to about 10 psi, so it is sort of speckling out kind of thing to give us a bit more of a starry type look. Hopefully as you've just seen there, and it's just a case of trying to keep it random. Right, so hopefully that should be quite good. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to whack the air pressure up to like, ooh, you know, back up to like 20 psi, right, so we get a bit more of a feathered patterning, because what we want to do, we want to sort of bring out one or two of these stars, so really sort of bring them out. I need some tissue paper, which I don't have any, I'll just use my leg. There we go. And what I want to do, I want to pick out a certain star, a nice sort of bold one, and I just want to sort of make that a little bit, hopefully as you can see there, really sort of making that one come out a bit sort of bright. And you know what, should we have another one maybe, just to show you a bit there. Let's have one just here. Bring that out. Being very careful just to get that biting point, as you can see just there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with my paintbrush, right, and I'm very carefully going to plain and simply paint on here now a sort of a cross. Right, if I can do it very tiny, right, and keep it as light and as thin as possible, hopefully as you can see there, that just gives us that little twinkle of a star. Alright, let's just do that one again. As you can see, we've got a bold one just here, and again I'm just going to try and keep it as fine as I can get this painted on there and make a little cross very carefully, and as you can see, boom, gives you that nice little twinkle in the star, and that just gives our base, hopefully as you can just see in there, gives our base that little something a little bit sort of more special than just being plain simple black. We've got lots of little stars going on, we've got those kind of very sort of distant clusters of stars going on, and then we've got like one or two bright stars sort of like twinkling out at us, giving us a really cool base. And then we just remove our masking tape, and there we go. And here's another one that I also made earlier to bring them together. So there you go, nice, simple, easy way of painting up some of your Gothic miniatures, or potentially any kind of space combat type war game that you might have, because there's all sorts out there. I mean, there's X-Wing, Armada this, Armada that, you know, all sorts of games you could be playing. So hopefully you've enjoyed that little bit of a guide on painting them. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas everybody! It's Chris Kringle here, all the way from the North Pole. Now I've come down from the North Pole because Bobby's asked if I could do him a favour and give away all these lovely competition prizes for December, which is rather nice of him, and I do like to give away prizes to all you boys and girls, or in this case all you grown men out there. And what he's gone off and done, he's done a list for me where he's done that usual random number generation program thingy that he does, and I've got a list here of all those who are the winners. So let's get started with Genessis-Models. Congratulations, you are the winner of a Supermarine Spitfire Mark 22. That's 1/72 scale by Airfix as well. We've also got Ted USA. Let me guess you live in the USA. And you are the winner of a Hawker Hurricane Mark 1 1/72nd scale. Next up we have Brushbuster. Brushbuster, you are the winner of another Airfix 1/72nd scale Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A. Congratulations to you, Brushbuster. Next winner we have here is Razor. That's a bit of a nasty name if you ask me. You need to be a bit more jolly than that, but yes, Mr. Razor here, you are the winner of the US Army Special Forces 135th scale, and that's by Dragon. Oh, they do look a bit mean, they do. Next up we have Wally. Congratulations to you, Wally. You are the winner of the US 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, 135th scale by Dragon. Congratulations. We also have up next is Mike's Models. Congratulations, Mike's Models. You're also a winner of an Airfix 1/72nd scale, but this one's a Supermarine Spitfire PRX1X, whatever that is. Yeah, 1/72nd scale. Next, we have Brummy Modeler. Brummy Modeler, you also a winner, but this one is of a Mitsubishi A6M2B0 1/72nd scale by Airfix. Congratulations. And then finally we have the big one, the big Shackleton 1/72nd scale by Airfix. This is a beauty. Now with this one, we've done a random number generation program, and we came to, for the big win, Welsh Hamp. So congratulations to you, Welsh Hamp. You are the big winner, as well as all of you other winners here at Genesis Models for winning all these prizes. Now, Bob guarantees to me that he's going to give you an email and ship all this stuff out to you free of charge, which is rather nice of him to go off and do that as well. So congratulations to you all. I'm going to go off now back to the North Pole and get me some sleep, because frankly I am a little bit tired. So until next time, until next year, my name's Santa Claus, and I wish you all a happy Christmas and a merry, merry New Year. Did I get that the wrong way around? I think I did. But anyway, Merry Christmas from Santa. So it was really good to get Santa down here and do that giveaway for all of you. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully, you know, you're going to enjoy your prizes if you won, and hopefully we'll see you on the forum actually building these, which would be nice to see any final reveals or even work in progresses there. Now sadly we are coming to the end of this Christmas special, but yeah, next week is going to be New Year, so sadly there'll be no show or episodes or anything like that. It's sort of like a week off for me, enjoying Christmas with the family and everything, which I hope you will all be doing the same as well, and not sort of jump straight into your man cave and start building and neglect the family. You know, go be with the family, and then come the start of January excuse me, we'll be jumping right back in with Spitfire and Hurricane, which, as I say, I'm doing a new format, so it'll be solely them, and hopefully it'll speed things up. We've got that we've got the group build winners to announce. We've got the new group build coming up as well. I've probably got a bunch of presents as well on the way, which I'll probably be reviewing them. There's a new game that I like the look out with the miniatures and all sorts, so we'll be taking a look at hopefully that as well in January. So yeah, a lot going on and coming up for 2016, so hopefully you're going to enjoy that. Hopefully you enjoyed this Christmas special. So really there's nothing else to say apart from Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from everyone here at Genesis Models, and we hope you have a fantastic week with Christmas and New Year.